All right, Shalom, Yasharella. Before we get started, we're going to give our praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone, to teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. And we're back with another video, another lesson. All right, the title is going to be called A Time Unlike Any Other. Okay, and that time, unlike any other, is going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. There's gonna be a lot of things going on. You're gonna be persecuted. It's gonna be famines. Pestilence. All types of stuff that the Lord is about to bring upon this world. And we gotta prepare ourselves mentally and spiritually. For that time for when that time comes. Because a lot of things gonna get cut off. Like I said, the food. Because at this time, you're going to need a certain, how am I going to say this? You going to need that sea hip, in order to, be in society, because they're going to come with it. When everything shuts down, when the grid goes off, because we know a Black Swan event or, what's the other one called? Black Swan event or false flag, something's going to happen. So and they're gonna use that as a way to bring in their new world order, which is gonna be, everything's gonna be digital. Okay, you gonna need digital IDs, which they pushing right now, digital money, all right, a digital wallet, and then eventually gonna implement the MOTB, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID hip, that we preach here at Great Millstone and our affiliates. So that time of trouble is coming, and you can't avoid it. You got a lot of people out here who are saying there ain't no Jacob's trouble, or Jacob been in trouble for years, which the curses have been on us, yes, and Jacob been in trouble in some sort, but this time is like a time. Let's get it. Let's get Daniel 12:1. I need some water, but it's the book of Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. It says, "And at that time shall Michael is the archangel, all right, under Yahushua, it says, at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book." You see that? And the children of thy people are the Israelites. Okay, and it says, there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. Right? So this time is there's gonna be like no other time, that happened in history. It's gonna surpass, 70 AD is gonna surpass, it's gonna surpass, slavery, and anything else that happened in history. The time of Jacob's troubles and in the Great Tribulation is like a time no other, man. It says, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time, thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And that's the elect. All right, because only the elect will be saved. Okay, we can get, I want to see what the NLT says, though. Probably says something. They probably went off on it, but let's read it anyway. It says, at that time, Michael, the archangel, who stands guard over your nation. Who's that nation? The nation of Israel, right, will arise. Then there will be a time, all right, of anguish greater than any since nations first came into existence. But at that time, everyone of your people whose name is written in the book will be rescued, and that's the elect. All right, they're the ones going to be saved. You see? And 2/3 will be cut off here in America, but they will come back in the kingdom. Okay, let's get another one. Let's get Matthew, and I'm going to show you an article I got. This is the book of Matthew 24:21, and it reads, "For then shall be great tribulation." Matter of fact, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be." So great tribulation is gonna come. All right, and we never gotta go through tribulation. Brother's gonna be, thrown in jail. All right, some brothers or sisters gonna be beheaded for this truth. those who believe. Okay, so we know a great trouble is gonna come. All right, a time unlike any other. Right, and I gotta show you this article. Now I was gonna save it for another time, which I still might, but I'll put the link in the description. You go read it. Okay, it says where chip implants are heading should terrify all of us. You know, and you gotta you already got them out there. You know, you got Neuralink with Elon Musk. It's one over in they got it's one over in China. Okay, they got chips in Sweden. You know, so this is already being pushed out. You see, and eventually it's gonna be made mandatory for all. Let's get that for all to get. Let's get Revelation 3:10. Okay, and it says yeah, Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. Let me highlight it. And it says because it says, this is because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And the great hour of temptation is when the mark of the beast is made, when it's implemented, was made mandatory to take, or it be punished by death, or you'll just be ostracized from society. So this great it says because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world. Now this word world, all right. This word world is oikumene.
Strong's G 3625, oikumene. Oikumene.
All right, oikumene, meaning the inhabited earth. All right, the whole inhabited earth, the world, the inhabitants of the earth, men. You see, so this is actually talking about the whole world, not John 3:16. Right, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. You see, that's people gonna be tried. Because like I said, it's gonna be famines. All right, matter of fact, let's go back to that Matthew. That's what I wanted. I'm going to start up here first. It says Matthew 24:4, and Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah. All right, the anointed, and shall deceive many. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right? And we seeing that. We seeing wars, and rumors of wars. For a nation shall rise against a nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, right? Famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, and we're about to see all of this. We're about to see a famine. A famine is going to come. People are going to be dying, all right, from hunger, because the stores are low on food. Matter of fact, I know that's in Second Esdras. I believe that's the 6th chapter. Yeah, this is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 22, and it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. So the storehouse is gonna be found empty. There's gonna be a shortage, a scarcity of food, man, and people won't be able to eat. Right? It says, going back, it says, and there shall be famines and pestilences. We hearing of pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. You just had an earthquake over in what's it called, Myanmar. It says all these are the beginning of sorrow. So this is just the beginning. Okay, we're in the beginning stages. Let's get Second Esdras 16. All right. I start at 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And the scourges is like it's a whip. Matter of fact, we can look it up. Let's just look it up. Get rid of that. Let's open this up. Scourge. It says a whip used for inflicting pain or punishment. A lash used for torture. All right. This is a whip, scourge, thong, to whip. So it's something used for for punishment, to inflict pain, right? So it says, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, the punishments that the Lord is sending. And who is he sending these punishments for? The nation of Israel, right? It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And evil's going to grow. Okay? It says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. You see? So evil's about to grow in the earth. And we're seeing that, through the things that's happening in the earth, watching the news, all right? Seeing things going on, over in other countries, right? The rising of the people, right? Let's get this. Well, we can read that in the GNT. Let's get that. This is 2 Esdras 16, 17 in GNT, and it says, I am doomed. Who will rescue me in those days? And this is the vision that the prophet Ezra is seeing, right? It says, troubles will come, and many people will groan. Famine will come, and many will die. Wars will come, and the world powers will tremble. Disasters will come, and everyone will be terrified. What will people do when these disasters come? It says, famine, epidemics, troubles, and suffering are sent to punish and correct people. And who are the people? The Israelites. But in spite of all this, they will not turn away from their sins. They soon forget their punishment. The time is coming when food will be so cheap that people will think a time of peace and plenty has arrived. But then disasters will spring up everywhere. Wars, famine, and great confusion. That's what we're about to see. All right, disasters about to spring up everywhere. Black Swan events about to happen. Wars, it says, let me read it again. It says wars, famine, and great confusion. People are be confused out here, right? It says that in Luke, right? This is Luke 21 and 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. You get that word perplexity. All right. Aporia is the Greek word. It says the state of one who is in perplexity. All right. A state of quandary. What is quandary? Yeah, quandary. A state of perplexity or uncertainty over what to do in a difficult situation. People about to be in this state. It says a difficult situation, a critical dilemma. It's gonna be a state of uncertainty for a lot of people out here, because they're not gonna know what to do. But you get the root word. It says aporio. It says to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn. So people are down. Let's look at the Strong's definition. Is to have no way out, i.e., be at loss mentally. Oh my goodness, be at loss mentally, and you about to see that. People about to be at loss mentally. They're not gonna know which way to go. They're not gonna know what to do. They're gonna be in doubt. Doubting themselves. Like, man, should I go get this? This chip, or should I just? People about to be like that. So these are things we're about to see, and we ourselves hoping that the Lord protects us, because we people and a lot of people in the truth, they about to they're going to change up. They gonna say, "Oh, I didn't sign up for this," right? I think it's in Matthew 13. Let me see. Yeah. Matthew 13:22 says, "He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful." Yeah, the cares of this world. He wants to take care, he wants to save his life. He wants to still operate in society, But we gotta put this world off, man. We can't, because we know it's gonna be destroyed. This is temporary. Everything here is temporary. But what's to come is eternal, and we're gonna live for eternity. We hoping that we be saved, and we be of course we're gonna witness it. We're gonna live forever, but we want to be saved on the first go round. So I'm gonna get this last one, 1 Peter 5:8, and it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour." The word sober, all right, is a nepho. It says to be sober, be calm and collected in spirit. You're not being, you're not getting bugged out by the things that's happening. It says to be temperate, dispassionate, circumspect. And we gotta learn temperance. That's something I'm still learning. Being temperate, having what? It says showing moderation or self-restraint. Gotta have some control over yourself, man. Can't do everything. It's gotta be in moderation, the things that you do, especially in the times we're in right now. It says to abstain from wine. All right, keep sober, which you should, brothers drink, but it gotta be in moderation. And it's not just for drinking, but other things that that you like doing. It says be discreet. What does discreet mean? Careful. It says careful and circumspect in one's speech or actions. I like that. Especially in order to avoid causing offense or to gain an advantage. So we gotta be discreet in things, in our actions and the things we say. Because like I said, a time unlike any other is coming. And we want to be kept protected during that time, Lord willing. So, Lord's will, this lesson was edifying to you brothers and your sisters out there. We'll give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash, and double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to those 4 elect. Lord's will is edified. Till next video, I'm going to say, Shalom.